Hello everybody, I had to create this video despite me having a flu, and like we did in the last actually 5 or 10 years or 10 decades or centuries, if we felt sick we stayed inside and we never got tested for anything. So I'm just staying inside and I'm using up my sick keys from work, as you should, because I can barely just create this video for you, but I had to do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually explain what I'm trying to say here. I will stitch on another video at the end of it. It's not so much related, but it's about, I don't know, 30 seconds, but you'll see what I mean. I'm just not sure what's going on. But yeah, this doctor, for example, he's got a YouTube channel with 2.31 million subscribers. So 2,310,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. And his content is very thorough and very scientific. And I remember watching him and shaking my head at the beginning of this whole thing in September. Well, September 11, right? That's when something started. But March 2020, when he was completely on board with the whole, official so-called science, and and I was shaking my head, but I remained a subscriber and I watched only some videos. But learning from China is one video I want to share with you from this man that has, look, 4,400. This is his last video that only came out a day ago. I mean, it's amazing. He's got amazing following. I didn't read the comments, so I don't know how many people actually, agree with him, but I'm sure if you follow a channel, you will agree. And the other video and snippet of it I want to share is the market sniper, Francis Hunt. He's a chartist and he seems to be standing behind his calls, and he's got a very good conviction and very good mind and very good head on his shoulders. He does talk about head and shoulders in the charting, but going back to this, again, I'm not sure if I'm going to come across exactly the way I want to, but okay, so we have this thing going on in China. They've gone into 5th week of lockdown. Now, what I want to convey here is that if something doesn't make sense, then it's probably in some way not true, or it's a setup. If it completely doesn't make sense, then it's a setup. What else does it mean? Imagine, you know how people say, "Oh, governments are useless and these people are useless, such and such," and they they're hopeless, they're so stupid. They're not stupid. Maybe the government and politicians are. No, they're very highly intelligent people, but they are not the ones making the decisions. Whoever is telling them what to tell us is very smart, very, very intelligent. If it's extraterrestrial or whatever it is, they're very smart. They know exactly what they're doing. So when something's not making sense, it's not because they're stupid. It's because somebody who's controlling them know exactly what they're doing and what their goal is. Let me pause here, and I want to find the excerpt, because he does go into 5th week of lockdown, and he says it completely doesn't make sense. There's like, I don't know, 22 cases in Beijing or something. It's like a city of like 10, 20 million people in Shanghai. It just completely doesn't make sense. And yet their government, who we say, China is, and Russia, they're going to fight the evil of this world. I don't think so. No human entity is going to fight the evil. Let's call it, well, let me rephrase that. No a political entity or a governmental entity is going to fight the evil or be the good in this world. We know the only good in this world, or out of this world in any case, but I'm not going to go all religious here. All right, here we go. I mean, I don't know if he gets it, but we'll tie it into the markets. You'll see what I mean.
Talk about China for quite a while, because what is going on there is utterly bizarre. Their reaction to the pandemic has become really quite surreal.
Very surreal. See what I mean? He's dumbfounded. He is a scientist. He can't scientifically explain it because it doesn't make sense. that the government, the Communist Party of China, will want the best to and for their people by doing that to them for fifth week. This is the face of, I don't know what's going on. This tells you. Now, he's obviously not into conspiracies. He probably wouldn't want to make his channel into that. He's probably clever enough to leave it up to you to make your own decision as to what might be going on. But I'll give you another clip. All right, this is the bit where this highly intelligent man doesn't get it because he still thinks we can learn from this. There's nothing to learn from this. This is a complete conspiracy.
Things about the Chinese approach that I think we can learn quite a lot from.
Yeah, I don't know if he's convinced about that, but he has to continue with that scientific approach to say, okay, they're stuffed up, but what can we learn about it? Let's not make the same mistakes. They don't make mistakes. I'm sorry, they don't make mistakes. Putin didn't make a mistake, and I'll make another video. Let's not talk about the war. Putin didn't make a mistake to go into Ukraine, and Biden didn't make a mistake for wanting Ukraine to join or saying Ukraine should or maybe could join NATO. It's all scripted. I know. I'm pretty sure you've heard it before. This is funny. I mean, if this doesn't tell you they're effing with you.
So Beijing, 22 cases.
He goes on to read something that's available on mainstream media and newspapers in there. The risk of continued and hidden transmission is high, and the situation is grim. And then he says, is it really grim? There's 22 cases. The whole city of Beijing must act immediately. And then he says, act on what or how? That's what he says. I just didn't want to play more of his videos. And yeah, Beijing's got 22 cases, and that makes the situation very grim. Somebody did mention the reason why they're doing this to China is that the commodity prices were going sky high, and they had to slow it down. And the best way to slow it down is to close those very important ports. Shanghai port is apparently like multiple times bigger than largest US port, which is LA. And so they have to slow it down, and this is the only way to do it. I mean, this is completely, guessing, but I mean, there can't be anything else because once again, they're not stupid.
That which is scientifically impossible. It can't be done. And yet, they're trying to do that.
And this is the punchline of this video. Get this. I mean, I am watching a medical doctor video, and I'm trying to make you a case of them wanting to slam the world economy. Watch this.
Scientifically impossible. They are trying to achieve by human will that which is scientifically impossible. It can't be done. And yet, they're trying to do this at massive economic and personal expense.
Massive economic and personal expense. Right. He's got it. He's got it. It's right there in front of his nose, but he can't see it because that's not his job. He's a doctor. That's fine. Tunnel vision is very intelligent doctor. Let's go to our market sniper. All right. He makes a point. He's got this video that he's trying to pull apart. This man is predicting there's going to be a market or stock market melt up of about 40% in 3 to 6 months, under 6 months. He thinks that's what's going to happen. This man. I'm going to obviously share the links to both of these videos, and then he says, "No way, that's not going to happen. This is why." Here it is.
You've essentially had 38% loss in value. Now,
so 38% loss in value from March 2020.
What I see actually coming, which is the end of the debt market and the acknowledgement of that fact, is likely to lead to, in percentage terms, actually a greater event. And this is what's absurd. And I'm going to be absurd. I'm going to follow the trend of being absurd. And I'm going to say this is going to be a greater event than when they stopped the world economy. And
they stopped the world economy. So he thinks they're going to stop the world economy again. Now, where did the stopping of world economy start last time? China. Where does it look like it's starting again this time round? 2 and a bit years later, China.
SMEs were largely shut down by the corporatocracy elite that were allowed to continue to operate. So that is my take. This is going to be in excess of 38%. So this is what we've had. Let's just get these charts under control again.
It makes a point that I have heard also before, is that they're actually going to break the world economy because they're raising interest rates. They're saying they're going to raise interest rates to stifle the inflation, because that's what normally happens. You raise interest rates and then the demand goes down, and then the inflation goes down. The problem is that current inflation is not a speculative type inflation. It's not an inflation that has happened, back in the 70s and 80s. It is the inflation because of the supply chain problems. So once they raise the interest rates, excuse me, they are going to even more stifle the supply chain, and then you know what happens. The retail goes down, the economy just slows down, shuts down. So I think I'm coming up in my head the title of this video, which is going to be they are going to shut down the world economy once again.
33 months from the first yield curve inversion, when that happened, which within 3 months you had COVID that allowed for stimulus to occur in March, and it was already spoken about in January, and the lockdowns were already official in March and are being enforced. So the entire January and February, the narrative was already out in the market, was absolutely collapsing, and the cure was to lock everybody down. Guess what? They're going to have to pull something really big to equal that, and it could be some of the same and some other things, such as bank-related dramas. Look at those French banks. Look at.
There you go. He summed it up for us really well. So we have elections coming up in Australia this month. So I don't think it's going to happen before the elections in May, federal elections. So if when it happens, actually it could happen before because it'll be a globally coordinated event, just like it was before. So it could easily happen exactly the same way. They might not have to wait for little Australian elections. But if we are here to get locked down, I don't know. They'll try and do it after, because people have already forgotten that Labor, Liberals, both major parties in different states and everywhere else actually locked us down so hard, and so they're not going to want to. Remind us of that. Sorry, I'm a bit slow because this flu is affecting me, but it is getting better actually. I'm not. I don't have a headache, and I'm only a day into it, so a day and a half, so it's pretty good. All right, that'll do. I'll stitch on the video. There's a strangest glow. I don't know how well it's going to come up on film, but it's just the whole day's been kind of yellow, and there is there's a rainbow there right in the middle. It was actually bigger just moments ago, but it's not raining, so there's something in the skies, something funny. But anyway, I'll make this part of another video. This is it. I'm not using any filters. This is just amazing. Just the whole place is yellow.